Hi everyone, Chef Mark here at Appliance Factory, and I'm here with my buddy Pete, and he is in the market for a dishwasher. So he thought he would come and ask some questions, kind of from a chef's perspective, what to look for. Really, what we were thinking about is what kind of questions should any customer ask when they're coming in and looking for a dishwasher. So let's get started.
So I am looking for a dishwasher. I measured it this morning. It's 23.5 inches this way, but my opening is 24 inches. I'm presuming that's just the standard size for dishwashers.
Yeah, there's very few standards in, let's say, refrigeration, but in microwaves, dishwashers, and standard 30-inch ranges, you're kind of getting the same thing regardless of size. You're looking for a 24-inch dishwasher.
Okay, so they're all pretty.
They're all the same width. Okay. Where you get a little tricky is height. Some of the Bosches have.
I didn't even measure height.
Yeah, some of them have a tall tub, which is to say, counter height is always going to be the same height. Okay. They might need to squeeze in. Some other things you need to worry about is if your plug is underneath the machine, you're getting a machine with an open bottom. Okay. But the only way you can know that is to pull the old machine out and look. Okay. So if you have, let's say, a Maytag.
I have a GE profile currently.
Great. So if you have a GE, you might want to consider a GE to replace it to ensure that it fits. But if you're getting professional installation, the installer will be able to help you.
Do I need a professional installation, or is it something I'm pretty handy? I mean, yeah, it's fairly handy to do myself.
I've done them myself for years. I've had rental properties in different homes. So it's a drain, it's a plug, sometimes a couple wires, and a water line. If you're handy and you're confident, great. I would do the install myself on a day where I know I'm going to be home all day, run it a few times, check for leaks. However, sometimes having professional install helps maintain the warranty. So install's $150. Professional installer will be licensed and insured and make sure that it's in by code. I'm getting a little older. I'm not as surprised as I used to be on the floor, underneath, getting everything level. So I probably would pay for install just to ensure that the warranty is intact, and that's really the benefit of having it installed professionally. So how do you load your dishwasher? Are you a crammer, or do you put everything really precisely?
Pretty kind of precisely, but also sometimes just jam stuff in there. But I'd say more precise than jamming stuff in.
Well, let's talk third rack, and then we'll come back to brands, because third rack is a question I get all the time. So if you're a crammer, 2 racks the way to go. If you're precise, 3 racks the way to go. So if you look at a third rack, they're pretty slim up here, and they have these little tongs, so you have to kind of set each fork or each piece of silverware kind of precisely. You can put a couple wooden spoons and things here.
It's all for like spoons and stuff, like smaller stuff.
Small silverware.
And I still have this option for like main knives or stuff like that down here.
Yeah, main knives. The second rack maintains quite a bit of space. This one happens to have bottle jets, which is really nice.
Over that.
You put a glass over that, Yeah, this clip kind of holds it in place and keeps it from popping off. This happens to be the GE profile. A couple things I like here: full stainless tub that's going to run quiet. This one has a garbage disposal built into it.
I do like a garbage disposal. So one right now doesn't have a garbage disposal, and sometimes it does back up in my sink occasionally when I don't flip on the garbage disposal.
Yeah, if you have a home with older plumbing, a garbage disposal works great. And the way that works is that as the blade spins, it moves gears that chew up solid food waste. Okay.
Does it affect my height of my dishwasher or whatever from like for a garbage disposal in there?
No, both the third rack and a garbage disposal, they're all going to be the same case size. So they're all going to be about 24 inches tall and about counter height, which is what, 34 inches. Okay. They're all going to be within a couple of quarter inches of each other, and they're all designed to fit in the same cavity.
What about quietness? Let's look at this Maytag one up here, which was over here or whatever. Yeah. So I have a plastic tub right now. It's obviously pretty noisy or whatever. So it's obviously older one.
Yeah.
What's the benefits for the decibel levels? I've heard Bosch is like top for leading brands, but I know there's kind of a war going on between decibel levels for dishwashers.
There's a decibel war, right? War. Yeah, that's what I call it. So, for me, the difference between a 38 dBA and a 41 dBA, they're both so quiet you can't even hear them run. My dishwasher at home is a 48 dBA, and I can barely hear it. I mean, just like with the TV on, you can't hear it at all. And I certainly can run it at night and sleep through it. So anything under 50 dBA, you're going to be happy with compared to the one that you currently have. But the way dBAs work, I think they double in volume every 10 dBA. So the difference between a 48 and a 51, it's so negligible you can't really tell from the naked ear. So I wouldn't purchase on DVAs, I would purchase on features.
Okay.
So this Maytag, for example, this has got everything. I love this machine for a couple reasons. One, this third rack, look how big that third rack is, right?
I mean, I can fit like bigger stuff than just spoons and stuff up there.
Yeah, it's got an extra water jet in there, right? So it's kind of it's a true third rack. It does cut into this a little bit, but this machine, it's adjustable for height, right? And then everything's stainless steel, so you can see that the blades are stainless steel. That's something that's good to look for.
It does have the middle arm too.
Middle arm, upper arm. There's an arm up there. There's an arm down there.
And it does have a garbage disposal on this current one.
Got a garbage disposal too. Yep. So look at what we got here. We got stainless steel interior. We got 3 racks with a usable third rack. It's quiet. It's got a garbage disposal. However, 47 dBA. So there we go. Sub 50 dBA. Nice and quiet. Here's something to think about for you guys at home shopping. For you as well. Do you prefer a handle or a towel bar?
I prefer a towel bar myself. It's just easier to grab onto and open it up in a pinch where I'm not fussing for that's just my opinion though, but yeah.
Then the other thing to consider is, do you want your controls hidden, which is what I prefer. And what you do is you hit start, you close the door, and then it kicks on after a couple of seconds. Some people like the controls on the front, which we would have over here on this Bosch. And you can hit on and you can actually watch it running. So for a lot of people, they actually prefer this because they know it's running. They can see a light blinking and they can kind of see that it's operating. So that's something to consider as well.
Do I need to worry about availability issues? You said Bosch was backed up until like springtime in April. That's insane.
Well, because of COVID and because of manufacturing, just problems, supply chain issues. I would recommend getting something in stock, right? So when you come into Appliance Factory to shop for appliance, just ask your salesperson, like, hey, do we have any Bosches in stock? Now, I happen to know that we don't. And I happen to know with Bosch because they are so popular, because they really are a benchmark machine, and they make wonderful dishwashers, wonderful appliances in general. But for that reason, they're kind of a victim of their own success. So some of the machines are out till April, and we're talking, and it's before New Year's, it's still 2020. So yeah, 5 or 6 months out on some of these units. And I think that some of the other manufacturers, domestic manufacturers that see a gap in the market, they've upped their game. So we're seeing things that used to be solely Bosch, stainless steel interior, hidden control, third rack, now available in things like Maytag, Samsung, some of the other manufacturers out there. One last thing I would look for is maybe consider Wi-Fi, so you can, from your phone, see how long your rinse cycle is, how much time you have left, if you need to add rinse aid, things like that. That's really popular for 2020, 2021 is Wi-Fi on the dishwasher. I think that's a useful Wi-Fi connection to have. So let's just reiterate here. So folks, when you come into Appliance Factory, don't worry so much about measurements because we know they're all about standard size, but you're gonna check, do you want a towel bar? Do you want a stainless steel interior? Is a third rack important? If you are going with a third rack, do you want a third rack that can support an extra rinse arm so you can get tons of extra stuff in there? Are you a crammer or are you a precise dishwasher loader? I'm a crammer, so I should prefer a 2-rack machine myself. How often are you running your dishwasher? So if you're running it every day, I would think about definitely getting something with that solid food waste, that garbage disposal that's becoming more and more common. And then again, I can't stress enough availability. So yeah, if you're in no rush and you're willing to wait 6 months, great, go ahead and order that Bosch. But I would just recommend getting something that's in stock. And then lastly, professional installation. Appliance Factory works with a company that does professional installation. They do a great job. And that's gonna maintain your warranty, make sure that you're getting the most out of your machine. Also, anytime you're combining water and power into one appliance, it's worth considering an extended warranty plan, which Appliance Factory does provide up to 4 years, just to ensure that you have that peace of mind that that machine is gonna really get the most out of it for yourself. So this is Chef Mark with Appliance Factory. Pete, thanks for asking these questions. These are questions that as somebody who sells dishwashers and works in the appliance industry, I hear all the time. So it's hopefully something that our people watching this can watch this and know